the city of the sun. You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through color glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is March 26, 2025. It is 2:09 a.m. Alright, so this is the background. 4,181 subscribers, new subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $112.66. Analytics 1,580 views in the last 48 hours. So let's go on Twitter. Okay, I just put this on my list, but it's further down. I'm gonna try to make one recording because I don't have that much time. Alright, first tweet. Okay guys, did you notice this link on Meghan's page? Alright, so this I sort of covered that already. I don't know if it's something that I left on my last list. Wait, how did you come across this link? The 24th. So this is old. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I've covered this already. Meghan new shop, things that you could buy in terms of affiliate. So she will get a certain percentage of, she pretty much showed the things that she likes, okay? Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, a hand-picked and curated collection of the things I love, okay? These are the things that she put together. I hope you enjoy them. Please note, some products may contain commissionable links, okay? So she will get some percentage of certain things. Let's go to the next one. I don't want to waste time on some of the things that I've already covered. Public service announcement. Hey squaddies, Le Creuset said, yeah, and posting all those pasta dishes and those beautiful stoneware set without them. Alright, so looks like or they, I don't know. I don't follow a lot of things. Even Le Creuset, it looks like a, what is it? A IG post. So they're posting things. themselves. So the squad is saying that Le Creuset is posting things with pasta as well. What? Are they too subtle demure and legacies to mention her? That's the rolling eye. It's called riding the bandwagon. I mean, you guys, including myself, I'm sharing that stuff. This is what I'm saying. We guys need to just wait, and before you buy their stuff, wait until Meghan has her own brand or her own line. Okay, it calls riding the bandwagon, imitation being highest form of flattery. What's the need to mention what everyone already knows? I'd be more insulted if they try to pretend this addition to their recipe roundup wasn't with love Meghan inspired, than not stating the obvious. Let's see this one. Point taken, but if they are on point. Alright, they should credit the Netflix show. That too. And I think I've said that sometime last week in one of my videos. They don't owe Meghan anything. Unless there's some sort of a deal. Okay, it's us who's making a big deal out of it. Okay, there are some squaddies who've already been a collector of that, so it make it more easier for them to, I don't know, I guess get the things that the ones that they're missing. But it's us who's making a big deal out of it. They don't owe Meghan anything unless there's some sort of agreement that's going on in the background. And I think probably in the next future season, everything that they're going to use that's going to be shown on camera, they probably need to call the company and make some deal with them. That's all I could say. But as far as I'm concerned, Le Creuset don't owe Meghan anything. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, there's a video from With Love Meghan. Let's see here. OMG, Brian Tyree Henry and Elizabeth Olsen are in love with Love Meghan. So cute how they gave each other gifts based on the show. Alright, let's see here.
Great bond, but Lizzie and I share the bond of watching television that's crazy.
Okay.
And by crazy, we mean stuff that we just really like. So we're in love with Love Meghan right now.
What is that?
The new Meghan Markle / Meghan Duchess of Sussex show. Where she's also like Martha Stewart now. And she's created these things called flower sprinkles, which you apparently can put on anything that you want to eat. So Lizzie and I were like, we need to get in the flower sprinkles game. Like, Meghan is on to something that we don't know about. So Lizzie, for my rap gift, because we're rapping, I went into my trailer, and there is a literal jar of flower sprinkles. Not only that, because Meghan is bomb with calligraphy, okay? Meghan does her own calligraphy. Lizzie had her husband do the calligraphy on the, so it's a whole thing. So now it's like, we've started like a flower sprinkles gang. We're also trying to get on the show just so we can. It's like, I'm trying to get on the show. But it's unconventional because our movie is kind of about the apocalypse. So I'm like, Lizzie, wouldn't it be cool if me, you, and Julia went on her show to do doomsday prep?
Or what would you prep for? Like, you know how Martha did like the dinners with people or the meals? She should do a meal. And what would that meal be?
Flower sprinkles.
Okay.
We have created such a good bond.
That's a good shout out. That's nice. That's nice. When you have co-stars that get along very well, it makes going to work so easy. So they got something going on. I like the fact that he mentioned her husband, okay, doing calligraphy or something. Right? Was it calligraphy that he said? But anyway, so I thought that was nice. Okay, are they in a show together or just BFF? They were shooting upcoming together, panic carefully, but how he said it, it sounded like they bonded over liking the same show. Yeah, that's what I got too. That's an ad. I love this. There's that. A lot of heart emojis. Yeah, I love that. The shout out for Meghan and how they get along. I think that was nice. And what brings sprinkle on top for me, or cherry on top, is the fact that he mentioned her husband doing calligraphy and things like that. So there's that sort of respect the boundary kind of thing. I don't know. That's the way that I see it. 2025 have been so cathartic as a Sussex fan, seeing Meghan Sussex launch her own shopmire after almost a decade of other people making money off of her style, and the added bonus of getting to laugh at all the short-sighted idiots who don't want Meghan and our clothes. Double cleansing. Okay, so I think this was at the beginning when I might be wrong because I got into this a bit later. I think it's when she was in the UK. Some of the brands, were jumping on the hate bandwagon and not thinking, things gonna change in the future and how strong her fans were. Okay, we have to give it up for the squad. Okay, and I guess I have to say, for me, this is the thing for me. For those who are new, I was not following Meghan before marrying Harry, but I know of her existence. Just like any other celebrities. I know a lot of them exist, but I don't go crazy following them on social media or whatever. But occasionally when things popped up, similar to when Meghan was over there, I'll read the headlines. But what got my attention was the fact that the negative headlines consistently. So, and the question that I asked myself was that, knowing for a fact, okay, African American, despite what the tabloid, the media, especially in the US, say about African American, despite that, I know African American have discipline, they have respect. If you cross them, you're gonna get the worst part of them. Okay? They don't go out of nowhere to disturb somebody else's peace of mind. So when I was reading all those negative headlines, and I was like, that can't be. This is no way. She's been in the public eye for so long. I never heard anything about her in terms of a negative aspect of things. And I was like, this can't be. So that's when I took a second look and dig deeper. And then I uncovered all those full-blown lunatic garbage of stuff from the other side. And then one simple tweet that I thought that was somewhat funny, and I recorded and put it out there. And then a squaddie spotted my tweet, the video tweet that I shared, and said, look, I'm not on Twitter. Can you please share more? And this is how the whole thing started. But for me, if you look at some of my old videos, I wasn't just talking about things like that. I went deeper as I was searching, educate myself. Like, for instance, one of the things that I found out was when Meghan was pregnant with Archie. And I was like, how come the ladies, okay, over there don't say anything? Because when you're pregnant, not only, especially when you plan something, okay, the joy of it, I don't know, there's something. All of my pregnancies were planned, okay, so I know how it feels. So that was my sentiment, going and looking deeper into things that I wasn't aware of. And I was like, why the other royal women then stand up or say something to protect her? That was another thing as well. And then through that, and I found out, I mean, the squad, you say one thing, they will lay out a freaking list of all the things that you probably didn't know about. One of the tweet that I came across, I'm not sure if I was recording when I found out that, because I could still remember when I saw the tweet, that someone said that Ford Fiesta, whatever, the last son of the wife of the Queen's last son, I forgot her real name now, Ford Fiesta, was, I think she had some complication. She had a miscarriage or something like that. And I went to check to see if that was true. And I found out it was true. And then through my crazy research of her to see if she did had a miscarriage, I found out that her husband had a production company. And then when I looked deeper into the production company, and I found out how it's, when it started, how he got people involved to invest in the thing, came to the US, just using his name pretty much to have meeting with people, meeting that many of those people didn't know had anything to do with the production company. And I guess because of his name, his status, he sort of cornered them to invest in his production company. He started with a lot of money. And then the thing didn't work out because he was using his family kind of information to put out. and not too many people were into all of that, and the thing didn't work out, and he ended up with, I think, 40 pounds or something at the end of it, and he had to close down. And the other thing as well, this, I don't know why nobody's bringing that up, is through those crazy research that I found out that the queen was head of state, head of the military and all of that. I think they through his show, they what's the term? I'm probably gonna using the wrong terminology for that. Like, it's not invest. What do you call this? Where the connection of it, but they have to. Oh damn! What's the how do you call this? I had to go to Chat GPT. Okay, this is my question here. What was Prince Edward's ardent production financial status? I just put that. Okay, Prince Edward's ardent production faced significant financial struggles throughout its existence. All right, you could pause and read some of this, but this is the thing that I was looking for. The last sentence. Despite being a royal-backed, that was the thing. The royal-backed production company, Ardent Production financial difficulties led to its eventually demise. Okay, it's focused on royal documentary. This is what I was saying. Okay, I have some videos talking about that. One of its more notable project was producing a documentary about Prince Edward's own life and work, but this type of production failed to turn a profit. All right, so he focused so much of the royal family and things like that, and then eventually it failed. So yeah, what was the point of all of that? But anyway, the people who didn't back Meghan, but Meghan on the other hand went to school for that. This is what happened when you have a focus, you know what you want to do, and she had I think double major. Here's a video where she talked about it.
What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations, and then I went and worked for the U.S. Embassy for a bit. And
alright, so true, sis. I was saying how therapeutic and healing it has been seeing her be in her element since the start of the year. Bless. That's an ad. Okay, my favorite part is watching so many people realize how weird the hate has been against her. We Sussex fans, okay, this is what I was talking about. We Sussex fans have been in the trench fighting hateful comments for years, and while it made a difference, the supportive comments and pushback against the hate now is amazing to see. Okay, so this is pretty much what I didn't even know this comment was there. This is what I was trying to say. The squad who were doing the pushback, okay, knowing how she was from the beginning before Harry came into the picture. And then when I came along, okay, it's just headline that I was reading. And then I was like, what? This can't be. This African American to be at that high of society. Okay, despite what you hear the media saying. Because if she wasn't, I don't know, her circle of friends were at high level, there's no way she would have been able to meet Harry. Okay, due to her personality, her, I don't know, the way that she is, that this connection will never have been. And then for the tabloid to come out of nowhere to start bashing her, I was like, this can be. African, you could say whatever you want to say about African American, but I cannot say all of them because there will always be one that's not. Okay, but majority of African American have respect, understanding, compassion, empathy, all sort of those things. Just look at the last election. Okay, 92% saw what the country needed. But the rest, look what they voted for, and now they're crying. Okay, that alone could tell you something. That's my redemption, my proof, okay, of what I've been saying from the beginning, way before the election. 92% of black women in the U.S. vote for integrity, respect, rule of law, understanding, progress, all of that. Okay, so let me finish this. I got carried away. There's the laugh here, definitely, and the podcast is coming. What the hell is wrong with you to support such a... Oh, please. what I want. What needs to be said first is that you, William, or Kate? I have enough character to add that. Second, what the F is wrong with you being under her fan page? Third, have control of yourself and stop coming and typing your, okay, your, uppercase, your crazy stupidity thoughts under her fan page. Fourth, be gone. Anyway, they have to come. They can't control themselves. Alright, let's go to the next one. I spent too much time on that. There were some tweets, old tweets I never got to record about Meghan being on Drew Barrymore's thing. Maybe I should search for them. Okay, next tweet. Meghan Sussex revealed to Drew Barrymore the secret to her and Prince Harry romance and a promise he made to her when they first started dating. A promise to always date her. But according to her haters, this promise doesn't exist because royal expert knew nothing about it. This is a promise they're making to themselves. Alright, let's listen. It started already.
Is because I have him, and also I have a partner who is so supportive of me. And so I will tell you just, when I was a babysitter nanny for 2 Irish Catholic families when I was in college. And one of the dads said to me, he's like, Meghan, when you meet your person one day, I want him to say to you the same thing that I said to my wife when we got married, which is, I vow to always date my wife. And I told H that when we started dating. He goes, I vow to always date you. So we have this connection, I think, because we're so committed to treating each other the same way you did before you had a ring on it, before it was locked down, when you're just courting each other and you can see all the good and joy in that butterfly period. And that's, I think, what keeps things really alive.
That's nice. That's nice.
I have so many questions about the content of what she
I thought that was just an image, but let's listen to this crazy one here.
just said. But what caught my eye and felt so bizarre is the way she looks off to her right shoulder so dramatically when she launches into this story, because that's something we often do when we're fabricating things. When we're lying about something,
I would love to hear the person who told her that to come out and confirm it. What the hell is wrong with these women? Harry is still, we've seen it. If you follow Meghan, occasionally you see them going on dates. You see them. I think, what was it? I think it was before either the Netherlands Invictus or the, how do you call this? The Germany one. They caught them, not caught, but there were pictures that came out. You saw them holding their hands. She was walking with a short beige going out to dinner or something like that. We've seen some pictures of those, but it's nice for her to confirm everything that many of us suspect.
we glance off to our right side because we're having to come up with something. We're making it up.
My God.
And she did it so dramatic and so exaggeratedly that it's so obvious and so bizarre that you can't deny it. You can't deny that this is a lie based on just her vibe. Like, even if you didn't know that about body language, you would still see that and think something's off here, because our brain...
I don't know. I didn't think that way. My brain, I think, is functioning pretty well. You, lady, I think you cuckoo. To go this far, she didn't have to tell any of this. She didn't have to. Why she needs... This woman feel like Meghan is lying. Oh my God. This is why many of their marriage are not working very well for them. I probably need to tell my... Actually, not too long ago, I was thinking I need to go a little bit out more, like go to dinner. As a matter of fact, last Sunday, I told my husband we need to go hiking a little bit more now that the weather's getting a little bit better. I forgot, on Saturdays, this is when I like to do things. Sundays, I just want to relax or things like that, or go to church if I feel like it. But he was like, oh, the kids, their religion class needs to finish. I completely forgot about that, because now the kids are older, they could walk to the religious class by themselves. It's a long story. Before the pandemic, these things could have been done a long time ago, but because of the pandemic, there was a pause, and that sort of held us back. and now they're getting older, my husband, who's not even my religion, was like, you need to get this thing out of the way because they're getting too old. And I quickly signed them up again to finish. So now they could go to the religion class by themselves. But the whole point is, I went off a little bit. The whole point is, not too long ago, I was telling my husband we need to do a little bit more things, to go out once in a while and things like that. And one of the things we enjoy doing is the hiking. And I remember, I think it was last year or the year before, the kids did not want to go hiking because now they're old enough we could leave them in the house for a few hours. Okay, and they didn't want to go hiking, so we left them. My husband and I went hiking. I might have mentioned in one of my old videos, but this lady, I mean, why do they always suspect that Meghan is lying? What's the purpose? I just don't see the purpose why Meghan will say something like that for no reason. And Harry is alive, and we've seen pictures. But anyway, let's finish with this. It's so freaking long. I wish Meghan's one was as long as her crazy thing here. But since I started, let's finish it for you.
Brain subconsciously picks up on these cues. So why lie about it? Why not just say Harry and I wanted to, or promised each other, or love the idea of striving to?
That's your narrative, but that's not hers. That's not hers. That's yours. Why would she fabricate the way you're saying it when hers had a foundation? She said let's listen to that. Okay, 1 minute and 51 seconds. That's where I'll stop.
And so I will tell you just, when I was a babysitter nanny for 2 Irish Catholic families when I was in college. And one of the dads...
That's something new to me as well, because when I was in college, I did babysitting job as well. The timing was so perfect. While the kid is in school, I set my schedule to be in school as well. And then by 3, 4 o'clock, I'm available to do just that. Okay? So that I could relate to. Finally, one thing I could relate to her. One of many things.
Said to me, he's like, Meghan, when you meet your person one day, I want him to say to you the same thing that I said to my wife when we got married, which is, I vow to always date my wife.
Okay, so I didn't want to click on it. This is her story. This is how hers started because someone mentioned it to her and she valued that information. And guess what? She uses it when she finds her, her prince, her loved one, and mention it to Harry. And I think Harry was looking for someone like that, knowing and seeing how they treated him. He wanted to get the hell out of there. Okay? He wanted someone to cherish their courtship. But this woman who's saying her narrative, this is how Meghan should have said, but hers didn't start like that. Oh my God.
Date each other through our marriage so that we keep that spark alive and we keep that context of appreciation,
oh my God,
of time with one another.
What the fuck?
Lie and push the responsibility.
But she's not lying.
Of that idea onto someone else and say, someone told me that, and then I told Harry that, and then he said he would do that for me. What a bizarre way to go about it. Quite frankly, it would have been better from a PR perspective for her to just say, Harry and I vowed to each other.
She just remind me of that other woman who's telling Meghan to hire her to do things differently. But that's Meghan's story. It's not yours. It's not yours to tell. Oh my God. These women are freaking lunatic.
That we would always date each other no matter what, no matter how many years it had been. Why not just give yourselves credit for that decision? Why make something up? It's so bizarre. She does this all the time. Every single project, every single name of her projects, companies, books, anything she does. Every single...
That's because they have a meaning for her. Her things have a foundation. This, oh my God. You know what I'm jealous of? I'm very, very rarely jealous of people who work hard for their thing. I'm never jealous of anybody. But the only thing I'm jealous of Meghan is the fact that she has a vision for something. Me, I don't give a fuck about anything because I know at the end of the day, I'm gonna die. But she enjoyed the thing that she does, but there's a foundation there's a meaning of everything that she does. Okay, it's not like I'm just making this stuff just right now because of this lunatic point of view. You could see there's some videos I mentioned how Meghan's road was much direct in comparison to Harry's, where Harry's road was a little bit zigzag. Harry had to go through certain obstacles to reinvent himself, to, from the time his mother died, and then all the hardship that many of us did not know, okay, he had to go through before he could come and align with Meghan. I've said this before. Meghan's road, Meghan was always had a vision for herself. This is the only thing that I would say I would be jealous of, because she was so focused. She knew what she wanted and she went straight to it. This is one thing I wish everybody had, including myself. But, as she traveled through her road, her path, she encountered different things, and each of those things she encountered brings some meaning, some understanding, and things like that. And she reject all those naysayers, the negativity, and things like that. So as she moved forward, the good things that she encountered, she kept them. So that was one of the things she kept. That specific information that person told her, she kept it, and then she mentioned to her husband, or back then her boyfriend, and Harry agreed. And we've seen pictures of that, many pictures of that. So don't change her narrative for your own good. Maybe you could use that thing, whatever you're saying, for yourself. I don't know if she's married. I don't know who this woman is. But let's finish with her BS. I'm sorry, I'm stopping it. Go on TikTok and go follow her and listen to her BS.
Well, venture she's tried. She has blamed someone else for.
What?
The bench was a friend who basically forced her to publish it because it was so inclusive and so great. It wasn't. The show being called With Love Meghan was someone else's idea.
Guess what? The bench made her a millionaire, added to her millions. Let me pause for a second. We are at 46 seconds into it. Let's go to chat GPS. Okay, so this is what I typed. How much money did Meghan Markle earn from her book, The Bench? Let's see. All right, Meghan Markle children's book, The Bench, was released in 20... Okay, I'm looking for money. $sign. Okay. And it was widely reported that she earned a substantial amount from the book's deal, while the exact amount Meghan Markle earned from The Bench hasn't officially confirmed. Estimates suggest that she received around 3 to 4 million. Okay, how many people, writers, authors would love to get that figure? Okay, to her standards, she thinks that this wasn't good, but it brings some ching-ching in her bank account. Oh my God, why these women are so negative? What is wrong with them? Oh my Lord, but let's finish with her BS.
The Netflix series was someone else's idea that they create a sort of documentary vibe about their lives, whatever.
Okay. Oh my God, these women are so free. Even before the documentary came out, you guys could go back to some of my old videos. Probably on PYTE, because PYTE was there before Team Sussex. Team Sussex is a backup of PYTE, for those who are new. I was saying, because the things that I was seeing, and I was like, oh my God, she needs to write something. At that time, I was afraid for her to put it out, but this is how I sort of thought of it. It's for her to write something, her experience, because I knew, and those things that were being written about her was for the future. But she needed to tell her side of the story, and the way that I thought about it was for her to write something, either video recorded or write something, give it to a lawyer, so for future references, not knowing she was gonna do the docuseries. And the docuseries was necessary. was absolutely necessary to squash all those headlines that were saying all those BS about her, including the Oprah interview. That was necessary as well. Okay? Because all the BS, it's like everyone else is talking for her, but when she talked for herself, these idiots don't want to listen to her. What the hell is wrong with these people? It's freaking ridiculous. Alright, but let's continue.
All of it's someone else's idea, and this, somebody else told it to her. Does Meghan have any agency whatsoever? Even when she was talking about her time with the royal family, she blamed them for everything. She blamed them for her fashion choices, that she thought she could only wear bland colors, when in reality, she clearly just really likes bland colors. She blames everyone, good or bad, for everything. She takes no responsibility for anything she does or says, even if it's good or bad. It doesn't matter.
You know what this woman need? God needs to give her a baggage to keep her occupied and leave Meghan's name out of her mouth. That's all. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, the royal family, well, when the Oprah interview came, and I think it was not air and the interview, it was the day after. I have the video where Oprah said, I think she went to her place and she saw how Meghan was living, and the thing about the 50% less of herself. Okay?
Been given advice that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was. Wow. That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's...
We could see that. I mean, it's not even Meghan who said it, but on national television, it's something Meghan mentioned to Oprah, and Oprah said it on national television. If that wasn't true, how come the royal family then come and defend themselves? Why? And we could see why they wanted her to be 50% less of herself.
Ever since God almighty, they've got 2 pages of everything. Right. Anyway, I must say it is a real pleasure to have this chance to.
Thank you. Nice to see you again. I was just looking at. It's been a while since I last visited, so yeah, definitely when things get back to normal, I'd love to come and say hello to the team and everyone down there as well.
I think it was 2012 that you were last here.
It only seems like yesterday, Graham. It shows you how quickly time goes.
I think the transformation of perinatal mental health services and infant mental health services in this country up, right? Because there were so many areas where teachers were helping parents and parents were helping teachers, and so it's just such a fascinating discussion. But I think we're moving in the right direction. And I also wanted to ask about food security. I had so many things that I wanted to ask about, but I guess I'll have to just come back.
Could be given the tools so that they're having their babies and raising their children with these greater tools, and I think that's something that education all the way through the system, I think would be really powerful.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
Look at it. Since the time she left, this is what I mean. When she knows what she wants, she does her thing. She's been putting out project after project after projects out. Many of these projects could have easily, okay, if the royal family then leave her alone And they did not do that campaign similar to what they did to Princess Diana, which Princess Diana said on national television.
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against you?
Yes, I did, absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife of the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her?
Can't we pack her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end.
Which pretty much validate her point of view because of what they're doing to Meghan. So how come the royal family don't come and said, no, we didn't tell her that? That's because they know they did the things that she said they did to her. Since she left, what project have the others have done to sort of, I don't know, to bring it to a level where you would say, okay, they didn't need Meghan over there. That's because they're so freaking lazy, they can't do shit. And Meghan was pretty much exposing them, their laziness, without even trying. Because the facade that they put out, that I also believe, I thought, that they're getting all those millions, not my millions, the UK millions, for cutting ribbons, for doing charitable work. But meanwhile, there's Meghan who went over there for a few seconds. That's the way that I see it. A few seconds. She did smart work. She did the cookbook. All right. The idea. Okay. When she going over there asking the ladies those questions. Okay. To understand their situation. She asked questions. When she asked them, how come they're not cooking, 7 days a week? Don't people eat every day? Okay, many of us have the luxury of, watch what we eat, how we eat, certain things like that. This is a luxury. Okay, but some people don't have that luxury. Any food that they could get to give them their nutrition, fat, carb, and what's the other one? It's 3 of them. Carbohydrate. Okay, these 3 major nutrients. Okay, they don't care what they eat as long they get something. Some people don't have the luxury that we have. So when she said, why you don't cook every day? And the lady said, because of funding.
There is a cookbook, but it's also the story of a West London community who gathered together in a kitchen and discovered the healing power of sharing food.
Asked me, how many days do you offer this service? And I said 2 days a week. And her straight question was, why not 7 days, Zahira? And I said, funding. So she goes, we can do a cookbook.
And then because her brain consistently working, this is what happened when people's brain work all the time. Will I have thought about that? Probably not. I personally don't like to cook, but this is her element. So once they said because of funding, the idea of the cookbook came about. And she had the platform, okay, to make it happen. She get pretty much the recipes are the ladies. But because of Meghan, collectively put all those recipes together, make it a book. A lot of people bought the book. As a matter of fact, I think the book is still being sold. People are buying the book, and the funding keeps on coming for the ladies. Oh my Lord. But anyway, did I read this? Okay, to think you know more about Meghan's life more than Meghan, who actually lived it, because some tabloid gossip is crazy work. You know absolutely nothing about this woman other than what she tells us. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Exactly. Okay, that chick attacking Meghan could benefit from some of dental work. Well, I don't like to talk about that. That's her problem. But it's the nonsense that's coming out of her mouth, from her brain and out of her mouth for other people to listen to. I mean, if she has a husband, good for her. But I don't know. Anybody who's looking for some serious, I don't know. I don't want to say negative things about people, but I'm thinking if a guy is looking for a serious relationship, to have a family or something like that, to come across that would be a big no-no. This is someone who will create issues every day. Most guys, they want to get up, they want to, do what wife and husband do. eat and enjoy life and things like that. They don't want problem. It seems like this woman get up this morning and decided to go bash on Meghan. She's probably paying her dental fees with the money she's making talking shit about Meghan. Okay, she said, what? I wish I did have time to watch someone's mannerism like that. Haters are the biggest watchers ever. She needs to get a life. Yeah, okay, so the squad are on the same page. She's ridiculous. But anyway, God needs to give her a baggage. That's all. Next tweet. Alright, that's a GIF, yeah? King Charles tells Harry that he hasn't got money to support Meghan when she was working for him. Meghan is told daily to leave. All of this. I have clip of that. That part where Harry talk about it in his book.
Driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg. Not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting? Oh, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, you know, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, you know there's not enough money to go around. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above. Charles and Camilla. It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. I turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. It was suddenly clear to me that this wasn't about money. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him, and Camilla. He'd lived through that before, and had no interest in living through it again.
And then this one was Piers Morgan tell her to leave, okay?
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
They tried to give her a hint, make her life a living hell, but with the exception of coming to her and said, just leave. It would have been so easy. Okay, this is the thing with the royal family. It would have been so easy to go straight to her and say, look, whatever nonsense that goes in their head, and go straight to her and say, look, you need to go. We don't accept you. But instead, these lunatics create that facade. She's welcome. Even in her engagement interview, she talked about it, how she was welcome and all of that.
Have you met each other's families, I imagine?
Yes, his family's been so welcoming and
You've met quite a few of them, actually.
I have, on both sides of his family, his mom's side as well, which has been really important to me too. But yes, the family has been great, and over the past year and a half, we've just had a really nice time getting to know them and progressively helping me feel a part of not just the institution, but also part of the family, which has been really, really special.
Trying to track them down and make sure that they're around at the same time that she's popping in without telling too many people. And so we've actually done incredibly well to make sure that you've met all the key people.
So have you met the Queen?
I have, yes.
A couple of times.
What was that like?
A couple of times. It's incredible. I think, you know, to be able to meet her through his lens, not just with his honor and respect for her as the monarch, but the love that he has for her as his grandmother. All of those layers have been so important for me, so that when I met her, I had such a deep understanding and of course incredible respect for being able to have that time with her, and we've had a really, she's an incredible woman.
And the corgis took to you straight away.
That's true.
For the last 33 years being barked at, this one walks in absolutely
just
nothing,
laying on my feet during tea. It was very sweet.
And it's just like, oh.
What was it like introducing Meghan to your father and your brother?
What was it like? It was exciting. I mean, I've been seeing her for a period of time when I literally didn't tell anybody at all. And then William was longing to meet her, and so was Catherine. So, they're being our neighbours. We managed to get that in quite a few times now. And Catherine's been absolutely
wonderful,
amazing, as is William as well. Fantastic support. And then my father as well. We had a couple of, no more than that.
We've had
a handful of teas and meetings and all sorts of gatherings over at his place as well. So. No, the family together have been absolutely, solid support, and my grandparents as well have been wonderful throughout this whole process, and they've known for quite some time. So how they haven't told anybody is again a miracle in itself. But no, the whole family have come together and have been a huge amount of support.
They've been amazing.
I'm gonna take the Queen out of that because I don't think the Queen is into this BS, and I think the Queen understood her position. And also, I also understand, I think the Queen understood that Harry's relationship is not a threat to the crown. Why? There's William. And then what she did as well is to allow a female, no matter who come first, is, in line to the throne. Okay? So there's William. There's William 3 kids. So the what do you call this? The crown is secure. Okay? So the Queen was not in those lunatic, crazy nonsense that these people fear. Okay? Harry, I believe, in my humble opinion, the Queen adore Harry. So because Harry find a love, someone that he wants to spend the rest of her life. Okay, this is not to say. Okay, I'm not saying the Queen was not racist. Okay, there's videos of her talking about racist shit. Okay, but this is not to say she was not racist. I think she accepted Meghan because of Harry. That was it, and she kept it that way. And then I probably get to know Meghan, and that quality that Meghan has sort of attached with the Queen, and she saw the benefit, whatever advice. Or remember, at that time, Harry was, there's a term for it. There's 3 people, if the Queen cannot speak, there's a term. I can't think of the term, I'm describing it for you. If the Queen cannot speak, there are at least 3 people who could speak on behalf of her. Harry was one of those people. Charles, Harry, I think William, Anne, or something like that, were some of the people who could speak on behalf of the Queen if something were to happen. Okay? So, I think Harry had given the Queen good advice. Good advice, knowing that, Harry is so freaking brilliant. He knows the continent of Africa have so many young people that could benefit, okay, because there's some, in terms of Commonwealth, okay, the connection of Africa with the UK, the Commonwealth type of thing. How Meghan will represent many of the Commonwealth countries.
The way that I saw it was, there is a way of doing things, but for us, for this union and the specifics around her race, there was an opportunity, many opportunities, for my family to show some public support.
Did you think she was well received in the beginning?
Yes, far better than I expected. But my grandmother has been amazing throughout. My father, my brother, Kate, and all the rest of the family, they were really welcoming.
So I think this was the idea, premises the Queen had in her mind. I'm not speaking for the Queen, but based on things, I'm assuming this is how Meghan was sort of, the Queen took Meghan as. Okay, she may be as racist as hell, but because she wants to keep the Commonwealth together, whatever, you know, when she was in Africa, when she did that recording, that she will spend the rest of her life,
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service and to the service of our great imperial family to which we all belong.
Okay, she was keeping that promise. Okay, so when Meghan come along, she just accepted her as that because of Harry. That was it. But the others, they didn't see it that way. They expressed their full-blown racist when Meghan didn't do anything. If they had come to her and said, look, we don't accept you with this, with that, I don't know, they could frame it in whatever package. I think Meghan would have understood, because many of us, if they don't want you in a space, you'll be like, okay, I'm not going to force myself onto your space if you don't want me to be there. Look what's happening in the U.S., okay, with the segregation that Trump is saying. Many African American was like, fine, that's fine. You don't want me to be in a certain space? Just let us know where you don't want us to be, so we'll go someplace else. Okay, this is the thing. That's the difference between African American and those other lunatics that's out there. But instead, they create that facade. She's welcome, she's this, she's that, and then sending other people to talk on their behalf. Go back to America. It's pretty straightforward. When Harry and Meghan were creating boundaries. I don't want you to be in my space, in my private life, when I'm doing things.
Chance my arm with a cheeky question. A bit like your mother, you are pursued every minute of every day by lots of people trying to take photographs, videoing, recording what you're saying, pushing. How can you possibly have a private life?
And to be honest with you, sadly, that line between public and private life is almost non-existent anymore, and we will continue to do our best to ensure that there is the line. You know, we are completely aware that we're in a very privileged position, and I will spend the rest of my life, you know, earning that privilege and trying to bring a spotlight onto things and causes that really matter to me, and I hopefully matter to a lot of other people as well. Everyone has a right to their privacy, and you know, a lot of the members of the public get it, but sadly in some areas there is this sort of incessant need to find out every little bit of detail about what goes on behind the scenes. It's unnecessary. You know, I hope that people get to see me here in this Invictus role, you know, cracking on with the guys and mucking in and having a good time with them. And this is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
Didn't you have an expectation that you're going to have to lose privacy?
Well, it's two things here.
That's part of the deal.
Two things here. I think everyone has a basic right to privacy. Basic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about anything that anybody else wouldn't expect. So if you're at work and you have a photograph of your child on your desk and your coworker says, "Oh my gosh, your kid's so cute. That's fantastic. Can I see your phone so I can see all the pictures of your child?" You go, "No, this is the picture I'm comfortable sharing with you." And then if they double down and say, "No, but you already showed me that one, so you have to show me everything." You know what? I'm just going to hire someone to sit in front of your house or hide in the bushes and take pictures into your backyard because you've lost your right to privacy because you shared one image with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the flawed argument and its operating mechanism that they're confusing people to think. I think life is about being able to share our stories and share parts of our lives that you're comfortable with. There's no one who's on Instagram or social media that would say, because I shared this one picture, that entitles you to have my entire camera roll. Go ahead, look through it. No one would want that. So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a basic understanding.
Was the move about getting away from the UK press, because the press is, you know, is everywhere, or was the move because you weren't getting enough support from the firm?
It was both.
Both.
I needed to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point, but I've got to do something for my own mental health, for my wife's, and for Archie's as well, because I could see where this was headed.
But these people want to be in every aspect of her life. And this is one thing I used to say, but now the squad are getting the full benefit of it. But I have said this before after the docuseries, and I was like, oh my God, look how much recording that they have. They were doing their own documentary. Okay? Even though some of the images are not perfect. Oh, I'm thinking the squad sometime who be calling Meghan out. We need good pictures. You know, that's some old things regarding tags and things that she used to post on IG. But anyway, in the docuseries, they were recording, documenting their process and things like that. Okay, all of those footage, they are on the plane and things like, they were documented. And I was like, oh my God, look how much footage that they have. If they were in the UK, can you imagine how much they would have shown us? But what stopped them from showing is the fact that the media wanted to be in every aspect of their lives. And they said, no, let us enjoy our time together and then we'll share whatever we want to share with you. So this is what's happening now. Okay? And the squad are just loving it. Because if they were in the UK, they will then, you know, give a little clip here and there of things that they feel comfortable to share with us, which they explained in the Oprah interview. Oh my God, I have so much to share with you. I'm talking too much. So let's go. There might be part 1 and part 2 of this video because I'm already 40-something minutes and I have more to share. All right, King Charles tells Harry that he hasn't got money to support Meghan when she was working for him. Meghan is told daily to leave. Meghan lives with her man and baby. They have to make a living. They make great business deals and are not costing anyone anything, and hoes are still mad. That's exactly that. Okay? Enjoying their lives. Okay? These are the things that she was talking about with Drew. Was it Drew Barrymore show? To be dating, go out, and when they are together, they're just being their silly selves. I'm so happy for them. I think I have my prince with me because we do a lot of crazy things. Oh my God, so much to share with you regarding my youngest. I just want to preserve his privacy, but it's lunatic. It's crazy in my household with them. Funny in a way. All right, look at them enjoying their family lives. And this is the thing as well. Meghan saw the crack where the problem was. And she knew what she wanted. This is the straight line that I'm talking about. She knew what she wanted. Okay? That prince aspect did not faze her. She was looking into the future. When Harry was acting up, okay, it came to light. And I'm glad it did happen because these are things that you don't want to happen out of nowhere within a marriage. Because otherwise, every day you will get up and keep on arguing. So when this part of Harry popped up while they were cooking and Meghan removed herself from that situation and said, you know, it usually takes 2 or more people to create how do you call this? Some sort of stress, a fight or something like that. So Harry was acting up. She removed herself from that space. And when Harry realized she didn't come back, he went to look for her. And then this is where Meghan raised that situation, that topic. If you want to be with me, she doesn't want that kind of attitude.
When my wife saved me,
yeah.
You know, I was stuck in this world.
Yeah.
And she was from a different world and helped sort of draw me out of that. But none of the elements of my life now would have been possible without me seeing it for myself.
Yeah.
As we know, it's one of the, you know, it's hard to change. It's almost impossible to change other people.
Yeah.
But you got to start with changing yourself and allow that growth to happen. But yes, my partner is an exceptional human being, and I'm eternally grateful for the wisdom and the space that she's been able to give to me.
Well, there's an incident in the book where you kind of lose it. I think you lose your temper, and she says to you, "You can't do that with me.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be with a person who does that.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have children with a person who does that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to figure out what's going on inside yourself." And my wife, bless her soul, has always challenged me to, she wouldn't put up with anything less than my true self. And what a gift. And so relationships, but not just with spouses, but also with people who see you and accept you, such an important part of healing, I think.
And I needed that.
Yeah.
I really needed that. I needed that pushback. I needed that moment of, again, scared of losing her. And it was a real moment because of the question that she asked.
Yeah.
She said, is it because that was how you were brought up? Or that you've experienced or seen or heard, other people within your life speak to women like that? And it was like a light bulb moment. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Not an excuse.
No.
Just
an
understanding of how these things manifest themselves and how we are so much a product of our own upbringing.
Okay, so Harry had to fix himself. Look at this. It's love and understanding that's happening in their household now. So all those work that Meghan put up with Harry. And Harry recognized that. And he said he needed that. Someone had to stand up to him and tell him that. Okay? Besides his father and brother, people in his blood family who will tell him things like that. But people outside of his family never stood up to him until Meghan. Okay? I don't want to talk about the exes and things like that. I don't know how it went, but I'm talking in terms of this image right now. So, and I believe Meghan probably was one of the people who stood up to him, in terms of that, closeness, this kind of thing. And I know he had some mentors. I'm not talking about them, but in a relationship aspect and things like that. Okay, I think Meghan was the first one, probably was the first one to put him in his place, and he had to fix himself. So this is the kind of family life that they are having. And I'm sure, and I hope, and I pray that when these kids, their kids, are looking for a significant other, put that aspect in it. Look for someone who will keep that value. And pretty much what Harry just did here, and he broke that chain of that stupidity in the royal family. His side, his bloodline changed that kind of aspect. And I truly wish the best for William and Kate's kids. I know some people will say, yes, but remember, we live in a society where we all connected. Our kids, great-grandkids, gonna be in that same society where these offspring will be there too. So we need to wish them as much as we wish for Harry's kids the same. And after all, they are Princess Diana's grandbabies. Okay, make it make sense. Right. Did I finish with that? They make great business deal and not costing. Yeah, that's that. Okay, and the royal sells everything from liquor to gem to milk and everything in between, and they have no problems. Okay, while they claim benefit, but Meghan, they make a living. Their racism and hypocrisy is what will bring the monarchy to its end. Blows my mind. All right, let's get to the next one.